Education opens doors for the gospel, bringing hope to dark places and sparking lasting change around the world. At Teach Beyond, we're reaching the nations through education.
This is Transformed and Transformational, a podcast from Teach Beyond. I'm Keane.
And I'm Heather. We're exploring how the gospel transforms us and overflows to impact classrooms, communities, and the world.
Let's jump into today's conversation. Welcome back. We are back for season 6.
Yes, well, sort of.
Okay, fine. To clarify, we are back for a quick check-in before we fully kick off season 6.
Yes.
And I feel like the obvious question right now is, Heather, what has been changing in your life since we last talked?
I'm so glad you asked. Of course, I've been thinking about this question in the meantime. And, what comes to my mind first is related to some posts on Instagram. And I know I always need to fill you in on the big things that are happening on Instagram. So that seems like the right thing to share.
Yes, I'm probably definitely not in the same Instagram circles that you are in. So this would be great.
Well, there was a whole series of posts on Instagram back and forth between Forrest Frank, who is a Christian singer, songwriter, and this much less known band called the Figs. And this happened after Forrest Frank fractured his back while skateboarding. And amazingly, he was making music from his bed, holding a microphone and his computer on his lap. That in and of itself has been an incredible story to watch. But then the Figs, this other band, tagged him on Instagram, and he ended up responding to them. And together they released this song just within a week or so. It was, back and forth responding. And then all of a sudden there's a song out that's called Lemonade, all about how, God is making lemonade out of lemons, the hard things of life. Had 1 million streams in its first weekend, rose to the top of the charts in multiple categories, just like a crazy situation.
That's amazing. There's so many twists and turns in there, and every single one of those is a big deal.
Yes. And, the icing on the cake, even beyond all of that, is that amazingly, Forrest Frank's back was healed in like that whole process of those 2 weeks. The recovery from that fracture he had should have taken like 6 to 8 weeks, and just suddenly he was walking again without pain. And it's a crazy story to watch unfold, because he even admitted like, oh, I can see how God's at work, that I'm able to, make this music in the meantime and have this rest. But then God was at work in an even different way, a bigger way in healing him too. So all those pieces, are just kind of neat to see how he's giving glory to God along the way.
That is amazing. That's really incredible.
Well, how about you? What's been changing your life lately?
For me, this is kind of an easy one because there's a big answer. If you've been following along some specific episodes, I've mentioned that our family has been fostering, and we've had one child with us for the past year. And over the summer, the courts actually changed our placement to being full permanent guardianship, which I realize for most of us, including myself until this past year, are probably wondering what that means. And This isn't a full answer. This isn't a legal answer, but it's pretty close to being adoption. It's permanent stability for the child, permanent stability in our family. It just has a different implications for him and his birth mom. So we are super excited that he gets to be with us. Our kids are really happy that, they get to know confidently, like he is their brother. He is our son. So it's been really exciting. It's been a big deal. So that is what is very much changing my life and my family's life this past summer.
Such big news. I remember hearing that and thinking, wow, like your everyday is similar, the same, right?
Yes.
Like he's already been living with you, but the permanency of that is it is also life-changing at the same time. So fill us in. What's the latest with him? I think he's about 18 months now, right?
Yes, he is a little over 18 months. He is wonderful. He is in the middle of the running away from you phase and getting chased and just like loving it. And it's a very fun phase. Very silly. That's
great.
Right now.
Keeping you on your toes for sure.
Yes.
Well, it's great to share what's been changing our lives, and I'm sure we'll have more to share as the season begins. We'll be back officially with season 6 in a few weeks, but first, as many are in the first weeks of a new school year, here are a few words of advice and encouragement from past guests, plus a few guests you'll hear from in season 6.
Hi, I'm Becky, and I would just encourage you, as you're going into this year, to not underestimate the impact that you will make. You never know what word or smile or interaction that you have with a student that they will take with them through the rest of their life. And so just an encouragement that you are making a difference, even when you don't feel like you are.
Hi, my name is Dr. Ariana Malloy, author of Healthy Calling, From Toxic Burnout to Sustainable Work. My advice for teachers is two things, one for you, one for how you treat your students. The first is for you. Remember, good enough is powerful. Sometimes you just need to have good enough as your goal. It doesn't mean that it's not good. It means that it's good enough, because there's a lot to do, but you can do it. The second is remember to give your students the benefit of the doubt. Remember to believe the best in them, because they are still growing and changing too. And if we believe the best in each other, the outcome will almost always be better.
I'm Zoe Fletcher from the International Christian School of Budapest. Just a piece of advice that I find very practical for new teachers is to make one awesome lesson per subject per week. So don't try to make every single lesson amazing. Don't try to make every single subject amazing. So if you really love math, make sure that you don't just have really great math lessons and your English lessons are terrible, but one really great lesson per subject per week. So aim for that.
I'm Chris from the International Christian School of Budapest. My recommendation is buy a bunch of the Bic 4-colored pens, the black, blue, red, and green ones. Those things are amazing for teachers.
Hi, I'm Mark Matlock, and I'm the director of the Urbana Missions Conference. You know, as we start back the school year, one of the things I'm reminded of working with this new generation is that it's really hard to sometimes understand what they already know and have experienced. Screens have allowed them to have such a rich interior thought life. So I'm always finding that I need to engage them in conversation more and more so I understand what they already know and are thinking. Don't make assumptions about the younger generation. Ask them, and you will be surprised and blessed at the same time.
Can't wait to see you Friday, October 3rd, when we drop our first episode of season 6. See you then.